Today I'm in central London again. I'm in Soho right now, walking along Compton Street. Do you know the thing that sucks about this time of year though? Even though the weather's looking so beautiful, is that it's so variable and you just don't know what to wear, right? Today actually is not too difficult when it says 23 degrees because you know that's pretty warm. But over the last few weeks, it's been like 15, 16 degrees per day. And that is like the hardest temperature to dress for because, especially in London, right, in the UK, you've got the temperature that it says is going to be, which is like 16, and then there's the temperature that it feels like, and that's often several degrees cooler, and that's based on like the wind chill factor and all that kind of thing, and whether or not you're standing in the sunshine or the shade. And so for the last few weeks, you think it's going to be warm and then you dress for warmth and then you're cold when you're in the shade and the wind is blowing. Or you think it's going to be chilly, so you wear like a warm jacket and then you're roasting. So yeah, it was difficult. But today, actually I'm quite hot today because I'm always on the cautious side because I hate being cold. So I will wear too much and then I'll have to take it off if I get hot. It's better than not having enough, right, and freezing. Especially if you're like me. I was born in Hong Kong in late July, when it was the height of summer, hot and humid. And my theory is that whatever weather you're born into is what you're most comfortable in. And so yeah, I hate being cold. That's the worst. So today, do you like what I'm wearing today? Do you like this cardigan? It's from Missoni Sport. It's a hand-me-down from I think the late 80s or early 90s. Yeah, I wouldn't buy something like this myself, far too expensive, but it was a hand-me-down. And you know this fashion controversy that's been exploding all over social media over the last couple of weeks about how everything is made in China and all these high-end brands are a rip-off. They're just telling you that something is made in Italy, for example, when it's actually made in China, and all they do is put the finishing touches, like the tags, in Italy. Well, see, Missoni, who makes this cardigan, is an exception, I think, because it's made in Italy, and it's made in Italy because the Missoni family, they own the mills that make the material that makes their clothes. And what makes a Missoni garment is that it's made using their knitted textiles, and they are the only people who have these textiles. Well, apparently that's what we're told anyway. They could be lying, right, like all the other brands, I don't know. But if you go, I don't know if you've ever seen the Missoni family sat around in their house. They've got a house in Italy where the entire house, all the decor, the cushions and the curtains and blankets and everything are Missoni textiles. And yeah, it's quite trippy. The house looks like it's kind of like stuck in the 70s, and it's beautiful. But yeah, I feel like their story, their brand narrative, whatever you call it, is a bit more believable, because you can tell when you look at one of these garments that it is made from this special textile that they weave, and it's very hard to replicate. I don't know, does anyone else out there know? Is it really only made by them in Italy using their textiles in their factories? Or is there someone in China making their stuff too? Anyway, let me flip the camera around, share with you where I am now. I'm in Covent Garden. just approaching 7 dials. And oh my god, I'm starting to get really hot. The sun is beating down on the back of my neck. That's better. We complain about not getting enough sunshine, and then as soon as the sun comes out and it gets warm, we complain about how hot we are. But I'm overheated now. I love Covent Garden. It's, I think, one of the nicest neighborhoods in the world. I love the cobbled streets and all the little independent shops and cafes. Kind of a villagey vibe in the middle of the city. Well, I mean, it's not villagey, is it? There's no villages full of luxury restaurants and hotels and boutiques, and that's not, no, that's the wrong word. Quaint. That's the word. Charming.
May I continue? Let's just go. Where are we going?
But this whole debate about luxury goods and where they're made and the cost of production, I feel like it's, on the one hand, while it opened a lot of people's eyes to the true value of the stuff that they're paying for, which arguably a lot of us already knew. Certainly, pretty much all Chinese people knew all this. But because of the contracts, they were sworn to secrecy to not give away the sort of insider elements of the businesses they were manufacturing for. But yeah, we all knew this. And I think a lot of Westerners already knew as well. But it kind of raises the question, what is luxury? Because it's not it is the material to some extent, but when you're buying designer goods and you do get better materials, you know, you get pure wool instead of wool blends, you get silk and cotton instead of, well, actually, a lot of the high-end designers are now using cheap synthetic materials, just same as the high street. So actually, that's one element of luxury fashion that I think we're losing, because back in the day, I'm talking like the 80s, the 90s, if you bought designer luxury goods, you knew that you were getting decent materials, natural fibers, and, you know, cotton with a high thread count, and no synthetic wool blends with like nylon and polyester. But now they're totally ripping people off, because I noticed that a lot of the high-end collections are using all synthetic materials now, mostly synthetic materials. So you've lost that aspect of what is luxury now. So it leaves the, you know, the other side of the luxury equation, which is it's an intangible, that it's not the quality, it's the cachet, it's the fact that they have this huge marketing budget with all these famous influencers and models wearing their stuff, and billboards and ads in all the right places. But it's also, the main thing is the price ticket. You know, people are trying to bust the industry by saying that this exaggerated price that you're paying doesn't reflect the cost of the goods. But the thing is, the people who can afford this stuff, and I'm not talking about ordinary people, you know, working class people, middle class people who have to save up for ages to buy these things, which is a significant chunk of the market which is at risk because of these revelations. But I'm talking about the truly wealthy customers. For them, the price ticket is the appeal. It's the fact that everybody knows that this bag cost 20, 30,000. It's the fact that it's a famously expensive article that they had to pay that well-known figure for. And that's what the value is. It's not how much it's worth, it's how much they paid for it. It's the fact that they are able to walk around telling everybody that's how much money they were able to spare on that frivolous item. It's just an indication of wealth. It's the fact that you have so much money that you're able to waste it on something that you didn't need and spend that amount on it. That's what they're paying for. And as well as that, they're paying for the luxury experience of going into that shop and getting that service and walking out with that bag. It's all of that, because it's also a pastime for these people. You know, it's something to do. And, you know, the luxury experience of shopping for that item is part of what they're paying for. So, yeah, that part of the market will always exist. I think there will always be billionaires or multimillionaires out there who can afford this stuff and who want people to know that they can afford it. Even if it's not worth it, they want people to know that they're able to throw around money like that frivolously. And that's where the status comes from. And a lot of these people, I would argue, don't even know what quality is. Because a lot of the clothes, as I said, are not quality anymore. But they're just able to pull the wool over people's eyes. Especially as the gap between rich and poor gets bigger and bigger. And there are so many people who are able to afford these ridiculous prices, and it's for some of them they need ways to spend this money. They have to they can't just like collect up this cash in the bank and not spend it. They need to spend it, and so it actually benefits them. The higher the price tag, the more they want it, even though they know it's not worth it. That money is like valueless to them. So for those people, I don't think they're not gonna stop buying these goods because they know where they come from. I don't think they care. But it's the lower end of the luxury market, the ordinary people, the working middle class customers who have to save up for these goods, who will decide that these goods are not worth the money and they're better off spending their money in other ways. So I'm going to wrap this one up here, and please leave me your comments if you agree or disagree with anything I've said, and do give this video a like, and please hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to my channel, and the little bell so you get notifications. All of this makes a difference to my performance as a new YouTube creator, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.